Hey guys, Quasi Hippie here doing a review on the Benchmade, the Ambush 10200. Excuse me if you hear a little bit of noise in the background. Some dogs are barking in some houses down the street. But so yeah, and there's a reason that I wanted to start off my reviews and you know, all videos that I make from now on with this knife, and it's mainly because this knife is the one that really opened my eyes to the fact that, hey, you know what, if you get a good quality knife, then it'll last you forever and it'll never let you down. If you know how to treat your knife and you respect it and you treat it as a tool, as it was meant to be used, then guess what, it's gonna last you forever. And you know, I really want to emphasize that, because if you get a good quality knife, if you do your research before you buy a knife and you look at reviews, you read reviews, you do your research on different blade metals and all that stuff, then you're going to end up with a really good product, something that you're really happy with. And now I personally research all of my knives, anything that I buy actually. I researched it down to the letter. I read reviews, I find YouTube videos that do reviews and, you know, test out gear and everything like that, because I want to know what I'm buying and I want to know what I'm putting you know, my hard-earned money into. And you know, and it wasn't always the case. You know, there was a time when I didn't know, as was the case with this knife. You know, I didn't do my research. I didn't know anything about knives really. I knew that I liked them since I was a kid, but that was about it. But, you know, ended up with a great knife nonetheless, and I started to realize, hey, you know what? I better start doing my research, because I don't want to be putting $70, $100, $200 into something and have it be something that's completely useless and doesn't work and doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And when we buy anything, that's why it's important to do research, because we want to make sure that it's going to accomplish the task that we want it to accomplish. You know, for example, if you are if you're a soldier overseas, do you really want this little rinky-dinky pocket knife? I don't think so. I think you want something that's really awesome, lightweight, strong, and will also give you some of that length just in case you need to use it as a tactical blade in fighting or something like that. You know, as a civilian, everyday carry or something like that, you know what? I'll probably take a smaller pocket knife and maybe a tactical blade, maybe if it's light enough. You know, you never know. But with this blade, I can honestly say that, you know what, I probably won't carry it every day, because I have carried it every day, and you know, it's very heavy, it's very bulky, and we'll get to all that, you know, jumping ahead here. But basically what we got here is, you know, the Benchmade serrated, the serrated black model, and we have an all-around blade here. We have an all-around blade with the drop point design, big belly for slashing, and this half serration, which I kind of want to talk about a little bit. Like I said, when I bought this knife, I didn't know what I was talking about, didn't know what I was doing, didn't know anything about knives, and ended up with the serration here, which come to find out, I never used. And yeah, you know what? I bought it because I thought, hey, well, a half and half blade is better than just a straight blade, because now I have both. But really, in reality, serrations are a fairly recent phenomenon and invention, and it's something that's really recently come up in knives. Not really useful at all. Yeah, it keeps an edge longer, and it distributes the cutting throw on knives over a greater area, so it keeps the edge longer, and so it's really good for cutting ropes and stuff like that. But in reality, if you are doing something every day, or even if you want to use this as a fighting knife or something like that, you don't want serrations, because if you are going to stab someone, you know, let's say, you know, I'm not advocating violence here, but let's say you have to use it for self-defense, you know, you're stabbing someone, and all those little serrations in there are going to get caught in the body. and you really don't want that. I mean, a good plain edge is very, very excellent for anything really. You know, if you know how to sharpen it, you are going to have a really excellent knife on your hands, you know, and you really don't need serrations. Now, if you like serrations and you use them a lot, i.e. cutting ropes and stuff like that, then I would say go for it. And go for it if you just like the looks, and if you don't think that you're going to be using your knife in that scenario, you know. But do your research on the serrations and make sure that it's something that you're going to use, because at the end of the day, you'll walk away with something that you really don't want if you get the serrations or if you don't. Now, this is just my personal preference. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to buy, but, you know, from my point of view, serrations unnecessary. Now, the only downside to this knife is, and this model, you know, is the fact that this black coating on it only comes with the serrated models. It doesn't come with a plain edge. The plain edge comes in this aluminum polished metal, or I'm sorry, just a polished metal blade, and you know, for tactical purposes, you might not want to use it. Basically, you know, you got your all-around blade, drop point design, big belly for slashing, blah blah blah, and you got this really awesome 4-inch blade from Benchmade that they put into this knife, and for $70, you know what? That blade is awesome. Now, yeah, you might be wondering, oh, well, why is he telling us all this if we can't even buy it? You can still buy this on the internet, this knife, and look for it. Google search the Benchmade Ambush 10200, and guaranteed you'll find it somewhere out there. So you got your 4-inch blade. Look at that, Aus 8 steel. I love Aus 8 steel. I think that it is an awesome high carbon steel. Never had any rust on this blade. The only thing that actually gathers some rust sometimes are these thumb studs, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But awesome blade steel. Takes an edge well, holds that edge for a while, and won't let you down, won't break, as you can see. Been through a lot of abuse. Had this knife in the Marines, and as you can see, has a lot of honest wear on it. Use this knife from prying open windows, prying open ammo cans, to cutting open MREs, and even cleaning my rifles with it. Getting down into those tiny cracks and crevices, and it's just awesome steel. Now, I gotta hurry up here before I run out of time, but here we got the aluminum handle, or the aluminum handle, about 5 inches on this handle, and I gotta say, it's a little big. It's a little bulky. I don't like it. I think they could shave off half an inch maybe, and save a couple ounces, because this thing total, guess what, weighs about 6 ounces, and that's a little stout for an everyday carry knife. Utilizes their in-draft rolling lock technology. As you can see, kind of just hangs out there until you clip it down, and then it won't actually come up that easily. Awesome. You know, it won't come down a little bit, or it won't come down at all. It has a little bit of wiggle. It really does, but after 3 years, I think that's expected, and you could always tighten it up by that screw. Belt clip, awesome belt clip. Won't shred up your pockets, has this nice smooth surfaces, no sharp edges, and you can switch it and put it on the reverse side. And there you go, look at that. Got your lanyard hole, and I'm going really fast because I'm trying to get all this out before I run out of time, but aluminum in there about halfway through the handle, aluminum lining, which probably adds to a lot of the weight, but and then these ambidextrous thumb studs, which are awesome from Benchmade, and I think that they do it right when they do this. You know, if you're incapacitated and you can't use one of your hands, guess what? You can use your other hand, and vice versa. So, you know, I apologize for talking so fast and trying to get through all of this, but I really wanted to get all this information out there without making it a two-part. Awesome knife. If you like it, go on Google, try to find it, and it'll be out there somewhere. You know, just because they discontinued this model doesn't mean that it's not out there. So go out there, try to find it. Benchmade Ambush 10200. This is the Quasi Hippie out.